Hi everyone, welcome to Inspiral Hacks, the first episode of 2026. It's an honor to welcome you today again, and to everyone that who has subscribed over the past years. I have a wonderful surprise to you. First of all, my name is Juan from Inspiral Hacks. All over the world, we have been sharing amazing tools and new news and skills, and today it's something amazing as well. First of all, let me introduce your guest. Her name is Petra. Hi, Petra. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm very excited about your invitation, and we speak about very, very high secrets. I'm
For
excited about your
everyone,
question.
yes, Petra. Thank you very much for being here. Let me, for everyone, every viewer out there, Petra is her name is Petra Coll Exposito. She's a Feng Shui Master, and we're going to talk today about something very important for you, for your family, for your environment. Petra Exposito has been busy for 30 years, more than 30 years in this science, in Feng Shui, in more than that, or everything that we're going to tell you today, and how that can impact your life. If I may start, maybe Petra, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, thank you, thank you. I start Feng Shui for 31 years with because my daughter have a big problem. She have to go to the kindergarten, but she was very sick. She got TBC. And when we go to the kindergarten, she get a test, and then the doctor told us, sorry, she couldn't go to the kindergarten. The test is positive. You have to go to the children's doctor and as well to somebody who knows a lot about lung disease. And at that time, I know very less about feng shui, about everything, but it was a lot of fear in myself because about my daughter. And my daughter have to make a chemotherapy, and it was a pity for me to see after 2 months she said she don't feel well. She was sad. She don't smile. She don't laugh. And as well in the kindergarten, they told me my daughter is not a healthy or not a happy child. And so I go to a natural doctor, and this doctor told me, please stop the chemotherapy, and we give you some homeopathic, some natural medicines that she gets better. And this doctor invited a speech with a Feng Shui master, and I only attend the class or the talk because I was very happy with her treatment. My daughter got better. She sleep a little bit better. She looks more healthy, and so I attend the talk. And this master, a Feng Shui master, he was a German man. Sorry, he didn't live anymore. He was an old man, and he told me that our environment influences us very, very much. And when I hear about that, I think it's a good idea to invite him to my house. And so I invite him, and he knows, he look around, and he told me, your daughter sleep at the worstest place in the house. And it was true. She never sleep in the place. She don't like her bedroom. And it was always a sad story to bring her to bed. And he told me where I have m- uh, to take the bed and which head direction she have to use. And first of all, okay, yes, I don't believe. And after 1 week, she don't sleep in her bedroom. She don't like her bedroom. I told myself, come on, I will try it. And when I changed her bed direction, she slept very well. She sleeps so good. And I was worried. What has happened with her? Why she sleep now? The whole life, 2.5 years, she didn't want to go in her bed. And it was so funny when every night I go to her bedroom, I think, hopefully she breathes, hopefully she's good. And yes, she sleeps well, she gets healthy, she looks better, she performs better. And so I thought, okay, I have to do everything what stands on my list. So I changed my living room, and my friend Jutta visiting my house. And she told me, "Oh, Petra, today is so peaceful in your room." I told her, sorry, before it was not peaceful? What you're talking about? I changed some furnitures, I designed a little bit different, and I was surprised about her. And so I thought I need to go to this master, and I like to learn with him. So I start my learning with 1994, and 1998 I met Grandmaster Yap Cheng Hai. And I thought I know a lot about Feng Shui, but when I go the first time to his class, I know there is a lot more to learn. And he was a Chinese master. He passed away 2014. I immediately understand that Feng Shui is very, very deep. And when I changed a lot of my life, because I realize my apartment is not very good for myself. And I invite a friend, she as well studied with me. Her name is Gisela. And I asked Gisela, Gisela, I find a new apartment. It's 300 German mark more expensive. Do you really think I need to change my apartment? And she told me, if Feng Shui works, you will get the money for to pay the apartment. And it was so funny. I told her, okay, I decide. I like to rent in the new apartment. And it was so funny for me. The 300 D-Mark was so easy for me. I get a master degree 2001 with Grandmaster Yap Cheng Hai. I was the best in his class. And afterwards, he asked me if I like to teach for his students. And I go overseas, I go to Russia to teach, to train people. I go to Spain to train people. I go all over the world. I get them a lot of money. And I have a secretary at the end. We are sitting in my living room, to write all the invoices. I have a lot of consultations. I'm very, very busy. And I thought, okay, it's too small. My son, I pregnant as well with my son, and my daughter was healthy. She was happy. Nothing was, she always was happy again in her life. And I was so excited about. And so I got better and better. I bought a smaller, no, I rent a bigger house instead of the smaller one, and we get in a big house, and everybody was perfect. And but at the end, I think better I buy a house. And so I bought as well a house in Potsdam, and all the money I got with my feng shui consultation, with my feng shui training. My daughter is now 33 years. She as well works in my company. My company is growing and growing. And I notice I never thought about myself that I get so popular with Feng Shui. And it was in a short time, it was not I only changed every time what I have learned. And I go deeper and deeper. And nowadays, in 31 years, I'm still in Thailand working a lot, and I go all over the world, have a lot of consultation. But the first and important thing is to improve by yourself. You do have to change your own feng shui in your own life. This is a
Correct.
small description. 31 years.
No, beautiful, beautiful. I remember we when we met the past summer, and that was the moment that actually like was the light that brought into my life more and more the feng shui that kept appearing into my life. And ever since the last year, I've been always
Mhm.
connected to my intuition. So when I felt that, like, okay, I met you and I started learning more about Feng Shui, I said like, okay, I really need to start getting more informed of this. And literally, I found some small changes in my life and already have impacted. And you know what I thought about it is that some of the biggest changes that came in my life were also about 7 years ago when I got introduced by Kung Fu in my life, which is also a Chinese dance, and how Kung Fu changed my healthy life, my personal life. So when Feng Shui came, I was like, okay, this looks like something that is accordingly. So if I may ask also, Petra, how now that we was talking about Feng Shui and a little introduction, how do you see it at this moment? Let's say, for example, about Feng Shui, it's about in through the history and how important is now in
Mm.
in the current days.
I think somebody told me Feng Shui is 6,000 years old, but 6,000 years ago and nowadays is totally different. We
Mhm.
have different environment. Before, maybe there was only for the higher ranking people, maybe only for the king or maybe as well for the mayor, but nobody else do Feng Shui. So just normal people on the street don't use Feng Shui. But nowadays it's different because 1966, was a fire horse year. It's very interesting because 26, we are going as well in a fire horse year. It starts at 4th of February or at 17th of February. When we got that Chinese Mao Zedong don't allow anymore people to speak about Feng Shui. He killed people who Feng Shui masters, the
Oh,
Lopan, the Chinese compass, like this one, and as well
yeah.
as the Chinese calendar, like this one.
Oh,
There was destroyed, and it was not possible anymore for somebody to use Feng Shui. And most of the masters leave the country and come to Malaysia, Singapore, America. And this is always, there are always two sides. One side, the Chinese always take everything in her border. Nobody knows about Feng Shui. Nobody knows about Chinese art, what they are doing, like Chinese astrology or Chimenduncho or Tsibaidushu. They use it by themselves, but they don't introduce to some nobody. And my Chinese master was one of the first masters who gave us as a Western the whole knowledge. And 1966, it was difficult for the Chinese master, so they leave the country, but they use Feng Shui as well in Malaysia, as well in Singapore, and nowadays in Taiwan, as well Hong Kong. China is a little bit difficult. I was 2010, I was invited in China, in Guangzhou for a speech, for a Feng Shui speech. It was allowed in Guangzhou, but it was not allowed 2012 in Shanghai. In Shanghai, we have to change the word Feng Shui in metaphysics. So China is not so open for the Chinese arts because it was forbidden a long time. But the most important is Hong Kong and Taiwan. In Hong Kong and Taiwan, we can find a lot of good Feng Shui masters, as well good Chinese compass. So nowadays, it's very, very important as well. It's good that the knowledge is spread around the world. I understand that we need it. We need to look about our environment because our earth is sick. And when our earth is sick, the people on the earth are sick too. We build houses who destroy our life. We build houses which are, when we live in these houses, we are exhausted. We don't have energy. We don't feel a good life. We build houses very small and maybe not in the right direction. We think we are so far away from nature, and we need nature. And as more nature we have in our environment, in our surroundings, as more benefit we get from. So it doesn't matter how small is your apartment. We always look about the invisible energy. We can feel it. We all feel it. When we enter a room, we feel. Sometimes we enter a room and say, oh my God,
Yeah.
better I go. Yeah. As well in a business store. You go in a business store and say, oh my God, no, I don't can spend money, I go. And in other places, we sit down, we feel good, we have a good feeling, we like it, we enjoy, we stay longer, we talk together, or as well in a business, you go in a shopping room or in a shop, maybe you need nothing, but you like the atmosphere, and then you buy, and you think, why I buy here so many things? Because you like the environment. So the influence nowadays is always, we in 6,000 years ago we have influence, 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago, nowadays. But nowadays is more important because we have too many influences and we don't know which is true, what is not true. We need to be grounded. We are more in depression. We think we don't feel our body. We don't feel our space. Only one example. I have I think it was 1 or 2 weeks ago, I have a talk, and in the talk there was one lady, and this lady got a Feng Shui consultation from my student. And this lady couldn't sleep 16 years. And my student, Daniela, she's from Austria, she consulted her. She told her that she have to change her sleeping room and to find in a different direction. And she did everything, and immediately after this, she can sleep. 16 years no sleep.
Wow.
This was 1 year ago, you know, and
Yeah.
now 1 year she can sleep. But people think, oh, I have to go to my bed because it's my bed. But if I can't sleep, it has something to do with myself. But maybe it has something to do with the direction, with the location, with your environment.
Yeah.
We don't think about. This is a different.
Correct. So if we will go from step zero, considering, for example, Spiral Hacks has been helping founders and business owners and people actually trying to lead their life for a better life, for a more harmonious life. What does it mean, Feng Shui, in terms of their directions and their direct environment?
Yes, I think every person is different. Every person have a different uh, mm, sir, we are always speaking about yin and yang and about the 5 elements. And every direction have a different element. And some people react with different energies. And so every person have like a different energy. And we need to put them in this direction and as well at that location. And immediately they feel the difference. And the other thing is our house as well have some energy. And first of all, we have to look if the house is good for the person. Yeah. And where is the best part of the house? Where is the auspicious part for them? Where is the healthiest part for them? And then we can change. First, you need to measure with a compass. There's only a compass needle in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The rings outside have different meanings. And here, very outside, is only the degrees. The degrees mostly we can read. And every person needs different direction. In Vastu, sometimes they told me every person have to sleep to north, but it's not true. Not every person can use north. Not every person can use south. Not every person can use west. it always depends. So it's a personal reason that you really need to know where is your best direction. And I believe we have three different parts. First is the form school. So we are living in a form, we are as well a form, and we live in a form. And if something is very aggressive, some poison arrows or something oppose you, or something not very ugly around of you, you have to look around your own space. And what is the most important for my students? My students don't see her environments because they live in the environment. You know what I mean? Because it was always the bad at that direction. There was always the picture on the wall. So it's always the same. You always come home, you don't see any ugly, you don't see anything, you only see nothing, because you're always like a frog, in a glass. You don't see it. But if somebody else is coming and tell you, oh my God, you have this in picture, this looks a very sad person. Oh my God, if you look always in a picture with a sad person, maybe as well you get sad. But if you see a picture with a keep smiley, maybe, or with somebody is happy and loving and enjoy life, it's a different meaning. It's a different feeling. So I think the first step is always we think about form school. Go in your own space, look around. What do you like? What do you hate? What do you need? And what you don't like anymore? Maybe you get a present for Christmas. Oh, your mother give you a present for Christmas again. My God, how ugly. And I have to put it on my desk or
Yeah,
wherever,
exactly.
I said, oh my God, when she's coming to visit us, oh, I have to put it there. No, it's your space. It's not your mother's space. If you don't like it, put it away. My mother sometimes complained, oh, I said, I give you so many presents, but it's not on I didn't see it. Yeah, because I don't like it, because I don't need it. I like a open space. I only like things what I really like. I need, I want. And the other thing is, maybe you had a love affair. You have a love affair and he finished with you. Oh, and you have so many memories. He give you the bowl, he give you the wonderful items. You look at this, oh, but he broke your heart. Come on, do you need this item which he broke your heart and you took this item on your desk or maybe close to you or maybe the picture on the wall? And the other thing is especially with pictures, maybe some people have a very bad childhood. Yeah. But they have pictures on the wall from the parents, especially, sure, of course, in the sleeping room. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it's insane. It's
it's
so true.
the first you have to look, what do you have? What 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 story tells you everything? And then we can go deeper, Then we can think about, okay, first of all, you delay everything what you don't need, what you don't like, which which is not which things don't makes you happy. And if you destroy the things, if you take the things away, then it's wonderful. The second thing is when people move into an apartment, mostly they told me, oh, I can't paint the wall because when I move out of the apartment, I have to paint it again in white. And I told him, okay, but sure, of course, if you live in an apartment maybe 4 or 5 years, you still have to paint it if you leave it. You know,
Yeah.
especially in Europe, you have to paint the wall so that it looks nice, and then the next person comes to rent. So you can maybe a little bit different color, maybe some like pink like you, or maybe some yellow, or maybe what you like, what you love. And especially colors have a big influence about our life. Do you know there are some experience? If you have a rosé color,
Yeah.
the people are not as aggressive as others. Do you know most girl rooms are in pink? They are more quiet than boys. Boys live mostly in in blue rooms. So this is very funny. And they make a lot of experience as well about colors and walls. And the wall's color is white. Because white, if you are living in a white room, you don't have a good memory. You don't can memory as fast as if you live in a different color. This is very exciting because when I go to official and office rooms, mostly are white. Yeah,
Yeah. My office is as well.
accountants, accountants, advocates, all is white, 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 you know. And I think they can't think so good, you know. Maybe have a different color, they can think faster, they don't forget anything, they can make more concentration. So it's very interesting as well. If you have, uh, for example, if you have a temperature about your skin. If you're living in a blue room, you feel colder. And if you live in a red room, you feel more hot. You can measure
Yeah.
it with the temperature in your skin. But it's the same room, you know. You don't put on a heater. It's the same room. It's the same time. You know what I mean? So we react about our environment. We react about everything. We react about colors. We react about environment. We react about everything. And we can measure everything. It's a science. Feng Shui is a science. You know what I mean? Somebody thinks, oh, you have to believe about Feng Shui, but it's not true. You don't need to believe. Because if you can measure the temperature, if the temperature change through a different color, so it have to be an impact. You know,
It's amazing.
it's amazing. This is amazing.
Uh,
You can measure everything. And as well, with 31 years experience, I can tell you so many examples as well. Business partners, as well, business who are running well, people who got healthy. I have a lot of people who was very, very sick, and now they get healthy. As well, I consult the biggest ashram outside of India. It was three big houses in Bad Meinberg. It's a small town in Germany. And I have sometimes lives there 3,000 people, very, very big. And the owner asked me because there was two companies who got bankrupt when they bought this house. And I told him, okay, I tell you why they got bankrupt. And if you change it, you have a good chance to have a good business. And it was, I think, 1 month ago, I have a meeting with him because I was invited for a congress about peace and Feng Shui and what they're meaning about. And I thought, okay, I will ask him,
contact.
he give me a small interview about what has happened in his ashram. And he told me 12 years ago or 13 years ago, I was there, and he doing very well as well during COVID. So I have to close everything. So was everything fine. So I got more people, more people likes to join the yoga classes. I goes more prosperous, more prosperous. And I told him as well, the time with COVID was very good because they opened the online market. And so they get more money because they get online classes, they get classes in the ashrams, they are invited everywhere. So he told me that it's very exciting because I changed everything. I changed the reception, I changed the cooking place, I changed the kitchen. There was everything I changed, the whole. It was a big concept, and now as a concept, it's open. If you do the right thing at the right time, Feng Shui, so immediately it works. So if you
Wonderful.
tell me about history and if you think
Yeah.
why Feng Shui is so important, I told you it's very important because you are connected with your environment. This is the
Wonderful.
most important.
Yeah. And that's what I remember. And just a few weeks ago, I was getting some statistics in terms of the unconscious or unconscious brain, how it's working constantly on all the activities that are happening in our organism, in our life. And most of those are not even in our conscious, are things that are
Yeah.
happening automatically. And that's when
Yeah.
as well, when I was connecting that with the power of your environment, I was like, oh my God, there's so much that I'm actually letting go. When
Mm.
you were telling me about the child, what happened with my daughter, for example, was that she did a beautiful mask when she was very small. So my wife, she put it in a frame and was in her desk, and it
Mm.
was there for a couple of years. And only when I started to analyze things from a Feng Shui perspective, I asked my daughter, "Hey, are you okay with that mask, really?" And then she told me, like, "No, I'm afraid sometimes." And I was like, "Oh my God, so long!" And it's something that actually we really never even had thought about it. So it's so important this that we were talking indeed. Petra, if I may ask, indeed, as well, what did we were talking, for example? Thank you, because in reality, you already given me the last push for me to start changing the colors of my office. And if I may ask, what would you say that are also some of these mistakes, invisible mistakes that people are doing mostly in offices, for example?
Mm. In office or in private,
Yeah.
sometimes we have an inner voice. The inner voice told her, I don't like my desk. So if you don't like your desk, maybe you don't like to sit there for a long time because sometimes you think, oh my God, I think it's better I cook a coffee. And then you stand up, do some things, and you come back, and then you're sitting for a while and, come on, let's eat something. You don't feel relaxed on your chair or in your desk. Or as well, the same is with bedroom. If you're not confident, if you think you're sleeping on your couch very well, then you woke up and think, oh, I have to go to bed. And then you go to the bed and you can't sleep. You don't falling in sleep. You can't sleep in this bed. I think we always have an inner voice, first of all, and we have to hear about our voice. And when we hear our voice, sometimes he tells us the truth. The other thing is, we don't know what to do. We don't know what we can change. But the first step is I realize that I don't like to sit a long time on my desk. I realize that I don't like to go to my bed. I don't like the chair. I don't like my kitchen, or you know what I mean. This is the inner voice. Then okay, I don't like it. How can I change it? And what do I don't like? Maybe I'm sitting with my back to a door. difficult. You need a good wall. This is very often, especially in office. Sometimes I think, how can I work with somebody maybe is behind me? I can't work. I don't relax, you know? So it's better. Or if somebody is looking above you, in some way, it is a task. They have two stage, and the ladies was above, and there was clients. They're looking directly on the desk. It's not a good place. They're not a safe place. You have to have a wall, and maybe there is something close. You feel powerful. You have to see the door. You have to see the windows. This maybe is the first step. And then you will see, okay, if it's form school, this is very easy. But otherwise, you have to look about what is your best direction. Yeah, and this is not as easy. You have to learn, because we have 24 directions, 24,
Okay.
and every house have as well different directions.
Yeah.
So it's not so easy that you think, oh, 45 degrees, this is easy. 45 degrees is like if somebody coming to acupuncture, he measures the pulse, and then you stay 5 meters far away, and he took the needle and think, okay, maybe, yeah, maybe it was right. But
Yeah.
it's wrong. You go there and you take the acupuncture, you look about, is this a good direction? Then you take the needle in by acupuncture. So it's the same in Feng Shui. You have 24 directions. Your house have a big energy. You have to include as well. So every environment is different. Every person is different. Every life is different. I never stay at the same house. I never have the same clients. Maybe same clients, but different house, different environment. Not at the same time. So this is exciting for me, because you never have the same. It's always something
Beautiful.
different. That's very exciting.
Well, that's indeed actually what's happening as well for us all. Everything is in constant change. So
Yes,
accepting that we are always in change is also part of life. Sometimes actually
yes.
we are really stuck, and mainly because we want to be stuck, something like that. Petra, one question now. Actually, let's talking, for example, or more of a we discuss about, for example, some special tips. We discuss about the story and how this is connected to our present. What would you say that is something, for example, that people are doing in a way wrong right now in their lives when it comes about, we're talking about stress, that is so much stress going on actually now in the world of entrepreneurship, of work, uh,
Mm.
that they certainly should stop, let's say.
Yes, I think your iPhone, your iPhone brings a lot of stress with you. We think it's young. It's very, very young. And everybody loves his iPhone so much. They like to sleep with the iPhone. But there is a high frequency, and this high frequency awakes you, as well as the light, the blue light inside of the iPhone. It makes everything, you can't sleep. Yeah. And so I think the best is take it out of the sleeping room. This makes everybody, I think the best is take it to the other room, take it in the ground floor if you're sleeping in the first floor, took it in the entrance if you go to sleeping room, took it in the living room if you go to the sleeping room. Don't take it with you. I think this is the most important. This is a big, big mistake, because everybody think we need it, but we don't need it.
Yeah.
It's too young, it's too much high frequency, it's not healthy, it's not allowed in the sleeping room.
Con- Exactly. Yeah. And we are all frequency, we are all
Yes.
vibration. So what kind of vibration are we bringing around us? Exactly.
And I think especially by sleeping, we need to um, get again energy. You know, we have to heal ourselves during our sleep. We have to, um, yeah, I don't know the right word, but if we are uh, antioxidants, you know, we get everything out, the bad of the life goes out of our body. And when have high frequency close to us, we can't relax, we can't heal ourselves. And during our sleep, we heal ourselves. And for
Exactly.
this, I think
Exactly.
this is
Wonderful.
one most problem nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's indeed not only trying to bring new stuff into our life, but what is actually that we're doing wrong? What is what we are not working? Like exactly like the questions that you were sharing with us, like about our desk, our life, or home. What is really not really free in good vibration with us?
Yes.
Now, Petra, let's as founders, a business owner, or a leader that is looking at to understand how they can implement more Feng Shui in their life. How could you tell us a little more about your academy and how they could learn more? Indeed.
Oh, if somebody likes to be trained in Feng Shui, I can tell you it's so easy nowadays. We have online training in German, English, and as well in Spanish. And the online training is about the form school, first part, second part, the personal reason. Why is this direction very good for you with 24 directions? And as well, the third part is about the time aspects in Feng Shui. Mostly sing about flying star, and but there is no star who is flying, but it's I have something to do with the time aspect of a house. Every year and every 20 years, there is a big shift in our environment, and we have a big shift 2024, and nowadays we see there are a lot of changes in our life, and we know it before because the life is changing and our cycle is changing. So, and this is as well a big impact. And I think the third and the fourth part is the most important because everything is practical. If you have these three parts, we include it in the fourth part. And our fourth part is we did a consultation for your own house because I think we are always blind about our own environment, about our own house. But if somebody like me look about your environment and we put everything together, you learn by yourself. So we have practical days. There are 2 days. We make the days online. You have to send the floor plan, the birthdays, and everything. First of all, you design it by yourself, and afterwards, we are speaking about your floor plan. Sometimes we change something because it was not the right decision, you know, by ourselves is very difficult. So everybody can be a consultant and get as well a feng shui consultant for himself. So we do it by this way, and after class you get a certificate as well from the International Feng Shui Association in Singapore. I'm a corporated member since 2008, and it's not as easy to get a corporated member and to be part by the International Feng Shui Association because there are only Chinese masters and it need a long time, gives a lot of examinations to get this a corporated membership, and you have to be invited by two grandmasters, And yeah, and I'm part of the International Feng Shui Association because I think this is the best result if you have a good certificate as well from the International Feng Shui Association. So yeah, so and afterwards you can make consultations. And the best thing is we always have every month a meeting in English. And in this meeting, you can ask all your questions per Zoom, and you can take your floor plan in, you can take questions about your clients, and I answer all the questions. And if you have a question outside, maybe you need immediately an answer, we have as well a secret Facebook group. You can ask all the questions always. And the best thing is you never will be kicked out. You can ask questions 5 years after your examination, because I think every environment is different. And I like that every consultant from my school is very successful, because nowadays we need good consultants. This is my
Beautiful.
program.
Beautiful. Thank you, Petra. Thank you, everyone, actually, for listening to us. Indeed, consider that by having the knowledge on how to influence your environment in your home, in your offices, you will affect your life personally.
Yeah.
You will affect the life of your family. You will affect the life of the people that actually you are responsible for at your work, for example. So wouldn't that be amazing? And for that, Petra, thank you very much for sharing this. What we're going to do is add all the links so people actually will be able to follow also online on your website and Instagram on those amazing
Thank
tips
you.
that you have shared with us today. Petra,
Thank you.
I
Thank
thank
you
you.
so
Thank you for
much.
this opportunity. And
Thank
looking
you.
forward to see you very soon in the future. We're going to share more news as well, especially actually how this is how they can keep learning. And again, Petra has been wonderful.
Thank you so much, Juan. Thank you so much.
Now we met back in Mind Valley University. I remember last summer. Hopefully, we meet actually soon as well in
Soon,
2026.
I'm sure.
Exactly. Much love from Amsterdam. Much love, Petra. To everyone, thank you
Goodbye.
very much for watching us today. And if you like this,
Goodbye.
please share it. Please share it with your family, with your friends. Subscribe if you want to know more about what the things that we're bringing for you for personal growth. Petra, wishing you a wonderful day.
Goodbye.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao, everyone. Take care. Thank you very much.